Let's be careful because we might be ingesting a very, very poisonous food in our diet every single day. And most of us really do. Do you want to know what is? Well, vegetable oils, especially seed oils, are the ones that we're going to be talking about and discussing in this video. And I know it's a topic that a lot of people controvert and say that no, they're fine, you can be eating them. And some of us say that we shouldn't be consuming it. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why you should avoid it at any cost. Today, we know that cardiovascular disease and cancer are the two leading causes of death. But we know that medicine gets better, we get more technology, we have more resources, but people are getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And there is a point in which we can actually draw a line that we can see the highly increase of cardiovascular disease, and it started somewhere around 1940. If we go and review history, is there something that occurred in that period of time that might have switched so we can watch that increase in cardiovascular disease? And yeah, and we cannot say for the only reason that people have gained cardiovascular disease or cancer is because of seed oils. No, but there is something very important occurring in our body with these oils that you really need to know. But let's remember something. We really need to include healthy diets in our diet, but healthy diets don't come from vegetable seed oils. Actually, vegetable seed oils work very wrong in our diet. What are the healthy fats that we should be consuming? We should be consuming olive oil, olives, fats coming from nuts, from seeds, from fish oil, also from avocados. But remember that fats should be around 30 or 35% of the amount of nutrients that we should be consuming in our diet every single day. So they are very important for a very wide variety of reasons. So we don't have to be avoiding fats. We need to know what fats to be including, and we need to know what fats to avoid. And seed oils are the ones that I want you to avoid. So let's go back in history and remember, why did we ended up eating this thing? What we don't realize is that what we're eating today, most of the processed foods that we're eating, but most of the things that we're drinking, and in a lot of foods starting from baby formula, they have seed oils. So we're not taking into account that we're eating seed oils every single day in a lot of different foods. So let's look at something. Before, we ate a lot of foods with cholesterol, we ate a lot of foods naturally with saturated fat, and the amount of cardiovascular disease was very low. And we ate little amounts of omega-6. Right now, we eat a lot of food coming with omega-6 and very little amounts of saturated fat. And most of the people that we have today in the world are getting metabolic problems and cardiovascular disease. So really, in the history of nutrition and in the history of medicine, this switch coming from marketing, again, it's not going to be the only reason, but it's a part of the reasons, and it's a part of something because we don't know the amount that we are consuming. It is estimated that today we're consuming somewhere around 50 to 80 grams of these vegetable seed oils in a day, and this is super high amount. We should consume fats, different amounts. We should consume good cholesterol, we should consume good omega-6, good omega-3, monosaturated fats like olive oil or like coming from olives or avocados, and we should consume also a good amount of saturated fat, but all of them, not just one source and then in that very high amount. Actually, if you go and see to the LA Lakers, in their diet, having seed oils is completely forbidden. And this is something that I find it very interesting, and bravo to the Lakers, because they're avoiding something that is really, for me, it's really a poison. And you might say, oh, now you're gonna tell me that you never consume it. Of course I do. If I go to a restaurant, I'm not going to be someone saying, oh, what kind of oil are you using here at the restaurant? Of course they're using seed oils, of course. And I enjoy it, and that's it. If I'm going to eat fries in a restaurant, then I enjoy them and I know what they're made with. I consume these oils maybe once a week, but if I don't use them on a regular basis on my diet, in my kitchen, at home, it's going to be completely different. So many people say that studies are not conclusive of the damage that this brings, because there are two things, and I'm going to tell you why I want you to avoid them. Many people used to say, or many people say, that when we get inflammation in our body, it starts with a type of omega-6 called arachidonic acid. And if we have a lot of arachidonic acid, then I'm going to have a lot of inflammation, just because inflammation starts with arachidonic acid. And if I have a lot of omega-6, then I'm going to have more arachidonic acid, then there's more inflammation. Well, this has been demonstrated to not be true, but that's not a reason to be consuming them. There are two big reasons in which I don't want you to be consuming them. Number one is that we need to remember that we cannot consume large amounts of omega-6 because we need a relationship in between omega-6 and omega-3 that it has to be 1-to-1. One part of omega-6, one part of omega-3. When we have relationships that we have 4 of omega-6 per 1 of omega-3, inflammation starts. Nowadays, it has been measured that we have from 15 to 25 parts of omega-6 per 1 of omega-3. What should we do? Eat more omega-3 and avoid these oils so we don't lose balance. Because when we lose balance, it's been highly demonstrated that inflammation occurs. Reason number 2, these oils, you're not going to find them like olive oil that you just press olives and you get the oil, or you cold press avocados or coconut and you get the oil. It has no chemical process on it. To get seed oils, you need to go to plant and production and do several changes so you can extract that amount of oil. In that process, it's going to be in a high temperature in which they can oxidize very easily. They are going to have, it tastes horribly, so we are going to have more chemical processes, more chemical compounds. Actually, even seed oils, for the inflammation and for these compounds that we find in them, they can even damage our mitochondria. Mitochondria are the little part inside of every of our cells, give us the capacity of producing energy coming from oxygen and coming from glucose. So when we have mitochondrial damage, it brings up a lot of diseases that you don't want to have in your body. So again, when we come and see what are the concerns in the medical community with these kinds of oils, the way they are made, it's completely different. So we can have oils occurring naturally in foods that are coming from a very low process, like when they're cold pressed, or we can have these highly processed or ultra processed foods that need to have a lot of chemical compounds to be obtained. 200 sunflower seeds are going to give you 1 tablespoon of oil. So if you eat sunflower seeds in your diet, then you're not going to have any chance of getting high amounts of omega-6. But when you extract these large amount of omega-6 coming from this large amount of sunflower seeds, then this is going to be a problem. So this is something that you couldn't do in your kitchen or in your diet, because you're not ever going to be eating more than 20 or 50 sunflower seeds in your diet, and maybe you're going to do that once a week or once a month. And the other thing is the relationship with all the chemical residues like BHA, like BHT, like TBHQ, and studies showing the damages and the relationship with chronic inflammation, autoimmune disease, and cancer, especially with TBHQ and BHA, are very wide in the literature. And most of these compounds have BHA and TBHQ, so they don't oxidize. Again, I told you these fats oxidize very easily. So they need to add these antioxidants coming from petroleum so they don't oxidize easy. These are not the antioxidants that you want to have in your diet, because these antioxidants are coming from petroleum, so these fats don't oxidize easily. This is a very concerning problem that we have in our diet and that we are consuming every single day. So again, what are the fats that you should not be consuming? You should not be consuming fats coming from vegetable sources, from seed oil, which are sunflower, corn oil, canola oil. Which are the ones that we should be consuming? Again, olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. The symptoms of consuming vegetable oils that we can see in our body, probably none or probably all. Because I have seen a lot of patients that when they say, I never realized that after taking vegetable seed oils for my diet, I could never imagine how I started feeling, how my joints started feeling, how I started feeling different. Again, it's not going to be the only solution, but when you take out from your body things that are oxidizing your body, that are inflaming your body, things that are chronic toxins into my body, well, my body is going to start feeling different for any disease that I have, because because every single disease in the body occurs with inflammation. So if I get rid of something that is inflaming my body so much, then I'm going to start feeling different. So please remember, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and please always hit the bell so we can be in contact every time we make a new video. Thank you guys, and till next time.